That moment when you already know how the story will end. Like watching a Netflix series when you already know the plot. You walk into a room, a meeting, a conversation, a gathering, and before anyone says a word, you already know how it's going to go. You feel the outcome before it happens. You sense the fight before anyone names it. You know a relationship is over before either person admits it. And most of the time, you stay quiet, because you've learned that other people aren't seeing what you're seeing. Scientists are starting to call this anticipatory intelligence. And if no one has ever used that word for you before, that's exactly why this video matters. Your brain is not what you think it is. Neuroscientist Carl Friston has spent 20 years proving one thing. Your brain is a prediction machine. It is always guessing what comes next, then checking that guess against real life. Most people run this in the physical world. That's how you catch a falling cup before you even realize it's falling. But a small group of people run the same process in the social world. Their brain has quietly built a map of human behavior so sharp, they can see the next few moves before a situation plays out. Here are 10 signs you might be one of them. Stay with me, because the last 3 describe something most people with this gift have never heard said out loud. Sign 1. You know how a conversation will go before it starts. Not in a vague way, specifically. You feel the no 3 sentences before it arrives. You can tell in the first 10 seconds of a meeting whether the decision was already made. Your brain is running a live simulation using data most people don't notice. A shift in tone, a change in body position. Where others hear a conversation, you hear a forecast. Sign 2. You feel emotions about things that haven't happened yet. The dread shows up before the event. The grief shows up before the loss. Psychologists Daniel Gilbert and Timothy Wilson have studied this for decades. They call it affective forecasting, and they found that most people are terrible at it, but a small group is surprisingly accurate. Why? Because they've watched people long enough that their emotional forecast is based on real data. The feeling you have in advance isn't paranoia, it's a body that's already been there. Sign 3. You know when someone is about to change before they know it themselves. You feel a friend pulling away months before they do. You see someone getting restless long before they quit their job. Psychologist William Ickes has studied this for over 30 years. He calls it empathic accuracy. And the top performers all share one habit. They trust behavior over words. They watch what people do, not what people say. They catch the pause that was half a second too long, the laugh that didn't quite land. They put those pieces together, and their picture of the person is often more accurate than what that person believes about themselves. Sign 4. You prepare for things no one else sees coming. People have called you a worrier, a pessimist. But be honest, most of what you prepared for actually happened. You weren't panicking, you were planning. Researcher Gary Klein studied chess masters and firefighters. He found the best ones don't weigh options, they pattern match. They instantly see what's about to happen based on years of experience. You do the same thing, but with people. What looks like worry from the outside is something different inside. Your mind is protecting the people you love from something only you can see. That's not fear, that's care. Sign 5, and this one matters. Everything you've recognized so far, the forecasting, the early feelings, the accurate reads, these are not just being dramatic. They are real, measurable changes in the brain. Scans show 2 regions fire together in people like you. The prefrontal cortex, which handles thinking, and the anterior insula, which handles gut feelings. When your gut says something is off, your analytical mind is confirming the same thing at the same moment. 2 systems agreeing before you even have words for it. You've been told your whole life that you read too much into things. The truth is the opposite. You've been reading the right things. Other people were just trained to ignore them. Sign 6. You're hard to surprise when it comes to people. Not in a cynical way, but you don't get shocked the way others do when someone shows their true colors. You'd already seen the shape of it forming. Months ago, sometimes years ago. Philosopher Alvin Goldman called this simulation theory. We understand people by briefly running them inside our own mind. Most people run a low-resolution version. You run a high-resolution one. That's why other people's choices don't feel like surprises. They feel like the next scene of a movie you were already watching. Sign 7. You get tired from futures that haven't happened. You've lived hard conversations in your head so many times that by the time they happen, you're already worn out. When your brain is always running simulations, it's also running the emotions that go with them. Your stress response can't fully tell the difference between imagining something and living it. That's not weakness. That's the price of running at a level most people don't reach. Sign 8. People call you perceptive, but the real word is accurate. Noticing is common. What's rare is turning what you notice into a correct prediction. Think about your history. The friend everyone told you to give another chance, who you said would disappoint you again, and did. The situation you said felt wrong, while everyone said it was fine, and it wasn't. Your hits outnumber your misses by a lot. You just don't get credit, because by the time you're proven right, the moment of seeing it first is gone. Sign 9. You keep most of your predictions to yourself because you've seen what happens when you share them. Either no one believes you until it's too late, or they believe you and then they feel strange around you. So you've built a private version of events that runs next to the one you say out loud. You've edited yourself for years, not to lie, just to keep things smooth. And there's a real loneliness in that. Sign 10. This one pulls it all together. You've been told your whole life that you overthink, but your thinking has protected you and the people you love more times than anyone but you knows. The relationship you didn't enter, the deal you walked away from, the preparation people called excessive until suddenly it wasn't. Psychologist Elaine Aron found that people like you aren't more reactive, they're more responsive. You take in more data, you hold it longer, you think it through before acting. From the outside, this looks like hesitation. From the inside, it's depth. Your anticipatory intelligence is not slowness. It is a mind that's already been to the future and come back with the information. Cultures that reward speed and loud confidence don't have a word for the person running simulations in the background. That person often isn't recognized. Sometimes they don't even recognize it in themselves. But not being recognized isn't the same as not being rare. If you've gone through this list and felt more and more seen, the things you've been quietly managing are not flaws you've tolerated. They're the signature of a mind most people will never have. That's not overthinking, that's anticipatory intelligence. And it was yours long before anyone gave it a name.